welcome to Newfoundland and Labrador Studies 2205. I'm Miss Fleming, and this is Unit 2, The Roots of Our Culture, Section 4, Lesson 2, Video 1, on Settler Contact with Inuit and Innu. Before we begin this lesson, we're going to reflect on what we already know about when settlers made contact with Indigenous people in present-day Newfoundland and Labrador. It is important to remember that people did not know about the existence of each other before contact, nor could they understand one another or their intentions. So with that, we are going to pause and reflect, so I'm going to ask you to please pause this video and complete the first page in the Google Jamboard in Brightspace, and that will get us going, get our minds thinking about what we're going to be learning. Thank you for doing that. Now we're going to talk about preliminary encounters. Indigenous peoples and European migratory fishers initially came into little contact with one another. One of the reasons was that at the time, European powers were not interested in any of the land resources that Newfoundland and Labrador had to offer, which Indigenous people relied on. In other areas of present-day North America, though, colonial powers developed treaties with Indigenous people, but due to the colonial power here only being interested in cod at the time, they didn't think it was necessary. Sometimes there was peaceful contact, and other times some conflict. Firstly, let's talk about European contact with Inuit. Inuit of Labrador have had contact with Europeans since the 1500s. We do not know at this time if the earliest exchanges were peaceful or not, but some records suggest some conflict between Inuit and European fishers and whalers. In the early 1600s, relations were generally hostile, especially in southern Labrador with French fishers. You see, when the fishers left at the end of the season, Inuit would take some of the things they left behind, including boats, fishing equipment, and iron nails. Again, they did not know the intentions of the French fishers. In the spring, though, French fishers would attack any Inuit they would see coming near their sites. But by the end of the 1600s, there was peaceful trade between the groups. Archaeological evidence from the time period, the Inuit acquired objects from the Europeans, including wooden boats with sails, barrels, screws, nails, knives, and some European clothing. As you can see in this image below, these are Inuit tools, but they have been altered with some European materials. In 1742, a trading post was established in Northwest River by a French merchant, Louis Fournel, where regular trade occurred between the Inuit and the people of New France. Now let's talk about European contact with Innu. Innu were one of the first indigenous peoples in present-day North America to encounter Europeans. They came in contact with Portuguese, Spanish, French, Dutch, and British fishers. They were relatively unknown, though, because they lived most of the year in the interior instead of along the coast. The presence of migratory fishers did not impact Innu life at the time, as they still participated in their seasonal round. Innu gathered berries in the fall and hunted small game in the interior of Labrador and Quebec. While marine resources were important in season to the Innu, they did not have the same significance as they did for the Inuit. Caribou was, and is, of course, the most imperative resource for Innu people. Now, knowing what we know now, and this lesson only covering initial contact, we know that both Innu and Inuit did experience a lot of negative impacts from settler contact, effects that are still being felt today. Now it's time to continue to the next video, but remember, of course, to take a break if you need one, have a stretch, rest your eyes, and I'll see you in a little bit.